I think I'm gonna trust this starting. Yeah, okay. Let me just open up my chat and everything. Make sure we're all fine. Seems to be showing up fine on my screen. Okay, yeah. I'm just gonna go ahead and ping the people in the Discord too. Hello. How are you? There we go. Got the link. Streams. We are live. Okay. Hi. How are you? Can you hear me? Oh, I'm also well. I'm just I was just eating dinner and I had to kind of rush over. So I'm still a little bit trying to figure everything out. But I'm just gonna open up my things and get ready. Hello. We have a bunch of people here that I haven't seen in a while. Welcome back. That's my account. Yes. Is everyone doing okay? Let's make a new board. And basically, this is gonna be our planning stream. Sorry. Is that the wrong button? No, it's just not currently doing it right. Okay, there we go. Yeah, it's a Helen stream. Okay, so as you might be able to tell from the title, I am currently doing a course for a special arts diploma at school, and I managed to talk them into letting me do it via Minecraft. So we're gonna kind of do this like we would do any other build, really. We're gonna plan it, we're gonna sketch it. But it's gonna end up in an art gallery and I'm gonna get like a certificate out of it. It's just kind of wild. I'm just gonna call this diploma or something. Does anyone have any questions or do we just get to it? There's also the tasks, which I should probably pull up because we have some things to choose from. We have 5 assignments. No, we have 6 assignments. I'm just gonna kind of independently put them here, and because I haven't even chosen which one I'm gonna do yet, right? This is kinda we are starting from absolute zero. I didn't want to have really anything set up beforehand, so that we can have all of this just, starting from zero and you're along for the ride, You have 6 assignments. The first one is layers. This one is the most I feel like this is the most easy for us to use, because this is a very basic, very broad prompt that we can take into like a billion different directions. Like here it's in the assignments talking about like different layers of paint or multiple like layers in a digital painting or archaeology. And just there's like a ton of different directions. It's very free. It has to be a work that is about layers from a perspective you choose, and you need to name it. Like that's just very simple. Then the second one is about travel. Travel, it's talking about, this is a two-part thing with an A and a B task. So we need to come up and create a work where we about oh my god, I'm like translating this over because my documents are in Finnish, so if I'm blanking, that's why. It's a work about travel from a perspective of our choice, and then I need to critically think about travel and research it, and I need to make up an idea for a product that enforces responsible travel and name it. I'm not sure we want to do a product. I feel like, I mean, we could do like a thing where we're like, oh my god, look at this cool lander pod that you can plant at airplane stations. What are they? Airports? And build an airport in Minecraft with some plants, but I feel like that is probably not gonna be the one we're going for. Why is my voice dying today? Sorry. So, art thing and the product thing. Sustainable travel. This is art or product thing. Literally anything. And then for third one, information, feelings and opinions. Okay. Digitalization, common interests, toxic conversation culture and social media, us versus them, algorithms, critical media literacy. So this is an art piece or a product about information and motives behind information and media and the impact of communication. So basically yeah, it's an art or product thing. Or, yeah, yes. I am not in the best shape here, but that's okay. Something, information, media, yes. And then the fourth one, art and terminology. The focus is on the thought behind the art, and language and words and process and such is in the center. Art or product and some terminology or thought is our like starting point. That is also very broad. I had a word for this, but then I completely forgot. Some term or concept. Yeah, and it was just one thing. Yes. Okay. Ooh, the next one is about pictures and presenting pictures. And it's supposed to be a picture book about a theme of our choice, and we need to name it. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say we're not gonna do that, because we are not doing photography. I mean, we could kind of class taking screenshots of our builds as photography, but I feel like this is just... Are we really gonna make our lives that much more difficult? No, it's okay. We're just down to 6 now. Democracy and its changes. Ooh. There's a lot of yap about what is democracy, how to participate in it. Oh, this is... You can do this as a group project. And you're allowed to take people from like other art diploma courses, such as like social studies and such. So it's just a project that you need to name, literally. That about like... It's a project about democracy, and you can do it in a group or you cannot do it in a group. And you need to name it. Wow. I forgot how to spell it. Oh my god. Okay, it's with a C. There we go. I'm gonna also go out and cross out the travel thing, because we're not gonna make a product, are we? We're just gonna make like, you know, Minecraft art. Democracy is just, we can literally do anything with that. Layers, we can do anything. This is also, this is the definition of literally anything. This is even more literally anything. Okay. So these are both very... These feel very similar to me. Like, this is the most like pure art. Just like do what you want with this. And this is both like kind of politics and media. And this is just kind of... This is literally anything. This can be literally anything. Like, if it can be a concept, we can do like time travel or something, and that will still fit under it. Literally anything. Currently the democracy thing is not really resonating, so I'm just gonna put it down to these. Because I feel like any idea I would have on that, I could also fit into this. So the democracy thing, that's basically just terminology. But your term is democracy. So we're down to these assignments. I feel like... Oh, let's figure out the other things as well, because there's a lot of other assignment things here too. So, first of all, I think the most important to figure out is we have actually 28.5 hours in total, so about 30 hours, to do like all of this, including this planning, and including also the time it takes me to edit my portfolio video and such. Meaning it's more like about 20 hours to build. Because I'm assuming I'm gonna take a while editing and such, because I need to make a portfolio video about this. And so yeah, that's not a lot of time. It's a decent chunk, but it's less than I tend to use on my usual projects, because my like usual big projects, they range from 30 to 50 hours on the building. Also, it's important to note, I kind of want this to be at least partly organic, just because I'm not gonna just send in a starter base for them to hang up in the art gallery. Like, I'm gonna try to be reasonable about this. Like, I'm gonna make this like a proper art project and not just like, oh yeah, I built a cute house. Starter base friendly. Ooh. Which also means we are probably gonna use a lot of debug stuff. But I also don't want it to be fully organic, because organics are usually what takes me the longest, maybe? I mean, it kind of depends on exactly the situation, but like, if I'm doing like very fine organic work, that can take a lot longer to... I mean, I guess it depends. It really depends on a lot of things. What am I streaming, Goldie? I am streaming my... We are starting work on my art diploma that I will be doing through Minecraft. Hello, Dr. Dogs. Hello, Big Cow. So we are currently trying to decide which of these assignments we actually want to take and what direction we want to go with it. And then we're gonna start thinking further about what we're actually gonna do with it. I think I'm gonna try to go ahead and try to finish it within this year, so before January basically. I still would have some time in January as well, but I just like, there's really no need for that. Hello, Pickle. Yeah, we're gonna be very artistic here. We're gonna see what happens. I'm not very... more so I'm worried we're gonna run out of time. Because I know this amount of time. I have previously spent nearly 30 hours on a Minecraft build in the span of like 3 days. And now I have like 3 months for the same amount of hours. So, if anything, we're gonna start doing overtime. We're not gonna like be like, oh my god, the deadline is breathing down. How are we gonna get all this work done? Hello, Big Cow is watching. So our main thing is making it simple and effective, but still like really impressive, right? Because we have 20 hours. This is kind of loud, you can't pay attention. Is my audio okay? Should I like bump up my mic or something so you can hear me better? Like generally? Or is it fine like this? Are people just yelling. Well, now you're not responding, so I'm just gonna keep going. Simple, effective, somehow really impressive. So we do not think of this as Minecraft. Let's pretend it's not Minecraft. I kind of work like this anyway, but here it's like particularly important because we are creating this to be put in like an actual art gallery. So if we kind of do work around this being Minecraft in our creative process, it's gonna look a little bit ridiculous. We're gonna try to make this blend in, you know? We're not trying to make the people have a terrible time over at the art gallery by making them hang up my Minecraft starter base alongside like Mona Lisa or something, you know? I think we really just need to make some decisions. Because no matter which one of these we do, it's gonna, like, there are a dozen ways to do this. Right? I don't really want to do media right now, so we're down to terminology and layers. I'm just gonna look up like a list of concepts. It's 120 examples of a concept. A concept is an abstract idea or generalization. Adaptation, advancement, adventure, algorithm, architecture, art, AI assumptions, authenticity, automation, bravery, business, cost, change, chaos, civility. I feel like layers is also technically a part of this. It can be seen as a part of this. Control, culture, dance, design, economy, education, empathy, ethics, experiment. Yeah, this is just a ton of... I'm gonna be radical. I'm gonna go ahead, lock it down. We're doing assignment number 4, terminology. But I'm not quite sure which one we're gonna pick yet, because there's a lot of ones here. Just in this one list. Future, humility, imagination. Management, media, music, motivation. There's so much. This is such like, there's so much to do with this. I don't know what they would. I guess the main idea is just, yeah, the concept behind it is the most important. Which I guess is how I work anyway when I create work. Because we tend to start from a prompt, especially for competitions and such. Like, for example, the iconic build context. I kind of want to go for something... I want to do a lot of color, because I want to work on my color, like, things, coloring abilities. Color. Because I like using color. Color is really fun to play with. It's kind of... I like it when it, like, kind of pops, you know? Hmm. It's the fact there's a billion different things I can choose from, and even from those, there's a billion different ways to interpret every single one of them. Can I somehow just copy and paste this list into Milanote so I can just show this for you? Can you? Amazing. Oh, that was really good. That was unbelievably simple. Yet another win for Milanote. So this is like a random list I got of Pickle. We are currently in the part of figuring out what we're gonna build. So we don't know yet. You can also put in your opinions. We are currently thinking about. We have narrowed it down that we are gonna do assignment number 4, where we base it around some concept, and now we're trying to figure out what concept we're doing. So there's a ton of different ways we can go from here. Yeah, I got this list from simplicable.com. Let's just throw this down here in the note as well. Kind of credit them. This is where we got the concepts from. Sources are important. I think I'm just gonna start narrowing stuff down. I don't want AI. I don't want to do business. Not automation either. Not algorithm. It's just kind of going off vibes here. Oh no, that's the wrong thing. I mean, architecture? Imagine I just picked architecture and then I do to submit a random Minecraft house. Like, that feels like too much of a cop-out. Coolness. What does that even mean? Not communication, we already got rid of the civility. Nah. So much influence. There's a lot of things that do just instantly spark ideas, so I'm just kind of getting rid of all of the ones where I look at them and I'm like, oh my god, what am I gonna make about management? We're not gonna do philosophy. No, I'm just not gonna think about that today. Meaning. No, please don't. Can we get rid of this photo row here? Delete row. Brilliant. Sales. No. Software. Strategy. Stability. Teacher. No. No. A lot of this just kind of make me think of like all the build contest like themes. Like story reminds me of like a Kibo contest that was about like fairy tales or something, and it just instantly makes me think of like the Wizard of Oz builds and such that I've seen. Self-fulfillment. No. That's just random. I feel like that's also a cop-out. That's just... I know it's technically by the rules, but I'm not gonna do that. Experiment. Development. Difficult's a weird one. I'm just gonna get rid of that. No. No education. No economy. No. I want something kind of artsy that can still like... Like there's just some of these that just kind of don't spark as much creativity, which I know I could probably make a lot of stuff out of them. Like if I really went for it, but some of them just aren't, you know, they aren't sparking that joy for me right now, so we're just kind of getting rid of them. These are already starting to look a little bit better for me. Universe, I'm not gonna start figuring out the meaning of the universe for Minecraft build today. I also don't really want it to be anything that's like overdone, really. I feel like stuff like love is too cliche, so I'm just gonna get rid of that too. I want it to be something I can have like kind of a unique stance on still. I think I want to get this down to like 10 maybe at least, before I start thinking more deeply about what I would actually do for each of these. Truth feels a bit too vague for this. Resilience 2. Safety and stability feel very similar, so I'm just gonna delete one of them. I kind of see wonder and magic under the same umbrella, so I'm gonna get rid of magic. I'd made these as well, like into cells. I think I'm gonna go ahead and just move all of these over to the other side. And just have like one column now. And then we delete the column. Dance, I don't really know much about dance. I think we get rid of that. Control and chaos feel very similar in a way as well. West Ham goated. Fox, what are you talking about? What? Fox, I'm not sure what you're on about, but go off. I feel like the story I'm thinking too much of previous build contest, and I wouldn't be able to be unique enough. Fox, we are currently trying to plan what I'm gonna do for my art diploma that I am completing as a Minecraft build. Hello! There's a lot of talking happening and I have no idea what any of you are saying, but that's okay. I feel like adventure and wonder are also very similar. Can I delete this? Yeah, I can. I feel like imagination and wonder also feel similar. I'm gonna go ahead and delete that. Happiness is too general, in my opinion. And now we are down to 10. Which is quite a bit less than 120. Your intern tried to stop you from watching the stream. Well, I'm happy you're here now. Honestly, I feel like this is still a little bit too many. Maybe we should narrow this down to like 5 before we start trying to plan, because otherwise I feel like it's gonna be too chaotic. Change and control somehow feel very similar too, but I feel like control is similar to safety. Change and time are also very similar. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and delete time because change kind of encompasses that. Empathy kind of feels like it would be more difficult to execute. I feel like I'm gonna get rid of intuition too, and probably also failure. I feel like this might be our final list of things before we decide on one. Change, insanity, privacy, safety, and wonder. These all have very kind of different approaches that I would take. I think I'm gonna go ahead and give all of these their own little headers. So we're gonna have Jane's as one option, sanity, privacy, safety, and then wonder. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna kind of put this in the middle of it all. It's gonna make for a really cool like mind map type deal, you know? Gonna draw some lines. I think I can just do this. Beautiful. I don't think we really need this yet because we know what we're gonna do. And this really, we're already gonna have all of this without needing the reminder. Join the Slavia clan. What's the Slavia clan? I think I want to kind of figure out the general colors that I'm also feeling with some of these. I'm just gonna drag a bunch of these out. So when it comes to wonder, I really am thinking like a lot of very bright colors. I'm thinking maybe like also nature-like ones. Hey. Kind of like a fairy tale book, I think is my general idea with this. Yeah, kind of like this. Slavia wants something cool about him since there was Moo 1119 and Bunny. You go help me. But what about Pickle C and Goldie C? Can that be my own thing? Now when it comes to safety, I'm thinking like very kind of warm colors. Yeah, this one. Maybe like a very comforting pale pink. I'm also feeling like kind of like candlelight. So maybe something like this. Colors that just feel safe in a way. Incorporate big cow somehow. Pickle, please. So when it comes to privacy, I'm seeing that as more of a grayscale deal. Like when I think about what I would do for this concept, I would probably like try to do some commentary about like, you know, the current like situation with like algorithms and like us being spied on by Google and all of that. So I would kind of make it look a little bit more dystopian, which would include not a whole lot of color. I feel like with Insanity, I want to go for really strong contrasting colors that really like just kind of hurt your eyes really. So if I go for something like this magenta, it would be the opposite of this. Let me actually think for a moment. I think I'm gonna... It's kind of a red, but kind of a purple, and the opposite of red is green, and the opposite of purple is yellow. So it's like a very stark lime, I think would be the opposite of that. Which does kind of make sense. Yeah. Lime and magenta. Goldie blue. Goldie, what do you think your... What do you think Goldie blue signifies as a color? Like what vibes is Goldie blue giving off? Struck blue better. Slavok. What do you think that signifies, Slavok? It gives off good vibes. Golly. Oh my lord. Now for James, I'm kind of feeling it's very intense, but it can also be like a very good thing. And it's kind of a fundamental thing of life. So I'm kind of feeling like I might just go for like kind of primary colors. Which I know is kind of wild, but... Very bright and saturated primary colors might be our bet here. It's annoying me how these are not really properly filling up the space. I'm just trying to adjust them. There we go. That's a little bit better. Piccolo, you like Insanity? Or do you think gold is the goldy blue use of Insanity? I think I should probably kind of put under these like my sub-concept that I'm doing. Like I think with Thunder I would kind of go towards fairy tales, and privacy I would go towards like more so I don't know how I would say this. You love Insanity for Goldie Blue. Tracking and information aids or whatever. Then safety, I feel like this is just kind of, I just kind of want this to feel like home. You know? Just like, I just kind of want the safety to like feel like it would smell like home-baked cookies or something, you know? Like that's the vibes it's giving off to me. Change overall I feel like would be a little bit more abstract. Kind of concentrating on the pros and cons of just life in general. Yes. And then Insanity would be mental health and I'd say self-image. How do we feel like all of this in general right now? Do you guys have a favorite? Something you specifically want me to go for, or do you just hate all of it, or? Do you feel like we might be onto something? Or are you just gonna be quiet? Goldie Blue. Goldie, that's not really, you're not really making a statement about which which one of these you're like gravitating toward. You can't just say Goldie Blue. Pickle, which one do you like the most? Or like which one do you feel like resonates with you the best? Because we are trying to decide for like one of these. Or which one do you just completely hate? That can also be one way to approach it. Safety or wonder? You like these ones? These are also, these are the most pleasant colors in a way. The other ones like, I mean these are the most pleasant concepts too, I feel like. Like this intentionally just hurts your eyes. Or these two, and these are intentionally depressing. Goldilocks insanity. Yeah, because but I feel like that's also part of art in a way. Because, like, if we are making art and our purpose is to like represent something, even if thing we're representing is like, because the purpose of the colors in art is not to necessarily be pleasant, but to like send the message that you're trying to like have come across. I feel like I'm being really weird and rambly right now, but I'm hoping you can understand, kind of. I think I'm gonna go ahead and narrow this down. So I'm gonna get rid of the privacy concept for us, because I'm just honestly, it's not resonating with me. It's just sad and grey. It's like, sure, it's like an important message. It's like got a lot of potential, but because it kind of depends on which concept we pick. Like, these are all different concepts you could have. Insanity is a message you should send. So change is like the most abstract one of these. I'm just gonna go ahead and explain this out to you, so you like kind of properly know what I'm talking about. Like, it's kind of, the purpose for it is to be very like vibrant and kind of chaotic, but also kind of have it be joyful in a way. And to like kind of, I kind of wanted to come across as like, you know, change is a part of life and it's important. It can be a lot, but that doesn't mean it's like always bad. That's kind of the message that I would want to signify with doing change. Now, when it comes to insanity, I would kind of try to make it, I feel like I would do kind of like more so like a, more of like a self-portrait type deal with like very psychedelic themes almost, to kind of signify like the state that like mental illness and such can have like on you and the way you view yourself and the way you view the world. And then safety, it's just literally, it's just like an artistic representation of what safety feels like. Like, what safety is like. It's kind of the simplest of these, but it's just kind of meant to be simple. Like, safety as a concept is not necessarily, it's not complicated, it's comforting. And that's kind of the meaning of it. And then when it comes to like wonder, I'd kind of want it to be a representative of like, you know, all of like the creativity and adventure and like kind of like fantasy elements. So I like to enjoy all of that. And just kind of more so represent like the world kind of like in the eyes of like a child or something that's not depressed with a 9-to-5 office job. I feel like that's like my current ideas is this. But I just need to pick one of them and hone in on it now. You know? So, do you have any input on which one you think we should do? Because that's what I'm asking you. Because technically I can do any of these. The chat goes quiet. Guys, it's really awkward when I ask you a question and nobody says anything, you know? Please, work with me here. Pickle, this is the planning stream to figure out what we're building. Pickle, yes, exactly. That's the point of planning. Crimean, it's gonna be Minecraft, but we are gonna pretend it's not Minecraft, and we're gonna use it to make art. What did I ask? I'm asking like, which one of these like concepts for a piece you believe would be most fun to make, really? Or like, which one of these you would prefer? Because we can really do any of these. These all have a lot of potential. Please don't make me explain the concepts again. The Crimean, no. Oh my god. Okay, Pickle likes wonder or insanity and wants me to get rid of change. Goldie also likes insanity. I can agree with getting rid of safety, because like it's a heartwarming concept, but like I feel like it's really, for the amount of things we want to express, it's like not really serving us as much of a purpose, yeah? So we're down to insanity, wonder, and change, and people seem to be wanting either wonder or insanity. Creamy and the colors are just kind of what I associate with the art pieces. The kind of, I'm not sure how artistic of a mind you are, but like at least I often like think in color, and I think of like the colors that I would see in the art piece and the colors that I associate with the... Yeah, but that's kind of the point of it. Crimean. Change can be bold. I feel like we have a lot of people wanting to go for insanity. So I feel like we might go for insanity, in fact. I'm just gonna go ahead and move all of these so that these are kind of up top here. Oh. Oh, we can kind of... Oh, I didn't realize we can do this. VVAC? What? Okay. I didn't realize that was called VVAC. It's fine. Wonder and Monte Carlo and Emerald. Such color. I'm just gonna kind of put some arrows here too, because why not? When in doubt, add arrows. So, now we're working on moving on to all of this. Crimean, no, I did not say anything about beavers, no. Okay, so this is kind of what I'm imagining is like, do you remember all of those paintings? I think there's the stock image of like, I wonder what shows up if I do this. Human painting abstract. No, this is very... Okay, well, painting abstract. This is a little bit too abstract. I still want them to be colorful painting of a person. Not really helping us. I said of a person, not a person. But kind of like this, honestly, but just in like a painting format. That's kind of what I have in mind, just like very bold, bright colors, kind of symbolizing, you know, those two colors for insanity are the colors of your shoes. Goodness. I mean, they are like contrasting colors, so they do like work together well. It's just kind of that's kind of a wild color combo. So yeah, currently we are at the stage of just drawing a bunch of stuff from the stock image library of Milanote here. Because the nice thing about using the Milanote images is that I don't have to credit the sources here, because these all just come from Milanote. So we already have all of the copyrights and such for this. So if we just use this, I don't have to worry about figuring out sources and going in there and being like, oh my god, if I use this in my portfolio video, am I gonna get sued? So I really like this thing. Even if it's a little bit funky at times. Mental health illustration. I feel like it's gonna give me a bunch of like really corporate images here. These are very corporate. These feel very corporate. We can do better than this. Come on. Come on, Milanote. I'm really not sure how this is supposed to be. Yeah, this is just random people. Let's do hallucination or something. This is not really. This is just. This do not really do much. Oh, this one is more along the lines, as well as this one. Yeah. This is all kind of starting to look the same. It's a mushroom, and we have run out of. Okay, that's fine. I feel like we kind of have an idea of what we want now, in a way. It just lets me resize, thank you. Now what's important to note is our time management here. Because we only have 20 hours, and this could be very complex to execute. And we really need to make sure we don't go overboard with this. But like, I feel like we can kind of already imagine like what we are wanting here. So we are most definitely gonna be doing an organic. But I don't see the like meaning of it Like realistically, I don't think we need to do a full body organic because that's a lot of like anatomy work that's gonna take a lot of hours and it's not gonna add that much. So we might be doing like only upper body or like only the head or something. It kind of depends. Or maybe like only hands or it kind of, yeah. I feel like we also organic goldie blue, organic insanity, organic. Oh my gosh. We kind of want to think about the elements we actually want to include, I feel. Because like it's one thing to have like just color. I'm genuinely confused on what's happening and what you're doing. So this is basically, this is a planning stream currently. I kind of doubt we're gonna be able to get into the building today. But today we are basically figuring out all of the elements we need for the build. We're gonna figure out what exactly is the build, and then we're gonna like try to figure out, like we're gonna make a sketch probably as well today, and like we're gonna see what medium I use. I might be doing like acrylic paint for it and such, because I feel like the color here is gonna be really important. And then after we're done with all of that, we're gonna like create this in the actual game. Do you understand a little bit better now, Grimian? Okay, fair. So when it comes to actual things we want to more clearly include in the project, we want to like think about, like, do we want to do hallucinations or like depression, anxiety, maybe like just brain scattering, insomnia. Like there's a lot of things we could include here, and we kind of need to decide on what we actually want to have there. Simple, effective, impressive. So we're just gonna have this be like only upper body. We can have it be like kind of have drowning elements, I feel. I feel like that's fun. I don't know if we want to have like the general vibe be more so anguish or more so disassociation, because there are two ways to kind of cope with it. Toby is no insanity. It's a mistake. Come on. We can have brief, like... Is it with an S or without a C? It's with a C. Okay. No wonder it looked wrong. Hallucination. Drowning. I think I kind of want like some sort of like body dysmorphia. Oh my god, how can I? Melted features. It's fine. I think trauma is good, potentially. Trauma. There we go. Call this trauma from seeing Toby. Guys, come on. Guys, this is an art diploma. I can't just copy paste in Toby and send that as my submission. Like, that's just, no. I think we do want to have this be like more of like a pained feeling. I feel like that's gonna make for like a more dynamic piece. Come on. Okay, we can imagine this is a representation of Goldie's pain when he sees Toby, but we're not gonna make a physical Toby. We can just imagine like the feelings and the psychological effects that Goldie might be experiencing from it, you know? Toby talk. I think something like losing grip on reality is also good, like derealization. And maybe isolation as well. Yeah, what's up? But Goldie's pain after seeing Toby, sure. Are you happy? Like I would, if I was doing this more generally, as just mental health. I was originally thinking of including like some sort of glimmer of hope still, because that's important when we're talking about mental health. But like, because we are specifically doing self-image, I don't think I will include that because it doesn't feel like there is a way out. That's like a very core part of it. So I think we will in fact be doing a very depressing looking build. Simple, effective, impressive. So our main like goal here is to achieve a composition where we can do a lot with very little. So do we have any ideas for anything else we want to add? Or do we think it might be like time to start thinking about sketching? Chat, hello. Speak to me. It's really awkward. Do we move on? Do we start sketching, and do we still want to add something to this? Do we feel like we have a kind of clear idea of what we want to do? Goldie? Do we want to start trying to sketch the like final thing? Or do we want to add something else? You disagree? You want a Toby? Krimi, please, come on, work with me. You know, Krimian, even if we don't physically build a Toby, this is fundamentally about Toby. You know? Toby doesn't need to physically be there for his presence to be overwhelming, you know? You see where I'm coming from? Maybe sketch. You're trying to cooperate, but you're not great at it. Well, is this? Do you think this is a good compromise? Can we go with this? Okay. So Goldie thinks we are, in fact, ready. So I started trying to set up like my lighting here because it is currently 10:30 p.m. and it's very dark. So I was trying to set up my lights, and like I tried to put my little fake candle, and it's just like, it's so sad and dim. This is not gonna do anything for the stream. How am I gonna light this for you? Toby could have a really interesting story. Okay, so I think we do in fact move on from here to the sketching phase. But before that, I do need to get all of my materials here, and I do need to figure out how I'm gonna light this area. So I think I'm gonna be gone for like just a little bit. but I will be right back. I know, such a good segue. Amazing. Hello, I am in fact back now. I don't know how this is actually gonna work with my camera, but we're gonna try to set this up. I have... Wait, I think this is... Yeah, we press 2. Escape. Okay, that's a very non-ideal view. I am trying to set this up with my plant light currently. because I am raising a parsley plant. And I'm trying to make it so that it... And now that's the rest of my room. Oh, why is this so difficult? Now if I do this, with a little bit further. Come on, work with me. A bit further would be better. No, this would be good, except that you can see my plant. And my plant being first in focus is not really ideal. What if I just move these behind my screen? Also, yes, it is very crispy. I don't know what happened to it. It was fine a few days ago, and now it's dying again. It has water. I'm not killing my plant. It just decided to die. Come on. Friend. Okay, you can see this bit here. Can I somehow lift it so it's less prominent? Come on, my friend, don't die from this. Proceeds to die. Come on, you can do it. Hey. Yeah, this has in fact become the Helmi rearranging her parsley stream. We move it a little bit this way, without pushing the full pot off my desk. Come on. The plant is no longer visible. It is in fact still blocking the light, because the plant is a plant light, so it's next to the plant. But are we just gonna, can we just roll with this, guys? Can we just... I'm really trying, okay? My room is really dark, and I'm working with a plant light, okay? It's a plant light. It's not gonna be that good. Is this good enough? Does this satisfy you, my YouTube audience? Can you see me draw? Now everybody's quiet. That's really awkward. Well, it looks fine for me, except that I maybe would prefer to hold the paper like this, but that's just not gonna work for the screen we're working with. So I'm instead gonna make the executive decision to just kind of imagine like the size of the paper and not the... You know, that's just how we're gonna work today. We're gonna work in the center space. The rest of it doesn't exist for now. This is our art space now. Yes, incredible, I know. Is this the same Helmi hand from the Water is Sticky video? I think it is, in fact, I think it is. Okay, well, no one's complaining, so I'm just gonna assume this is fine. So, I think, like, the first thing I think of is just like a hand kind of reaching up, because we are thinking drowning, right? You have a suggestion? Okay, go on. Instead of building a Toby, draw a Toby. Crimean. I don't think this is relevant to our current goals, really. Now that I'm drawing a hand, I think the person that would be reaching up would also be looking up. And they would look to be in pain, so they would probably be yelling. There's some amazing anatomy right here. Incredible. We don't really worry about that for now. Ear. Great. Awesome. This is truly a hand of all time. Imagine we're kind of drowning. Let me pull up my Milanote again so I can actually refer to it. If we're imagining we're drowning, we're probably also kind of trying to hold our throat because it feels like we can't breathe. There's going to be a lot of color happening. And because we want it to be kind of... What if... Oh, I think... Because we are kind of trying to like have it be also kind of like we want to have hallucinations, losing grip on reality, all of that stuff. And we also kind of want to signify how hard it feels to get out of mental health struggles. So what if, like, instead of having this hand be full, we do like an effect where they reach up and the hand just like turns into something, like the hand just kind of starts vanishing when you start trying to ask for help or something. This is in fact the pain you feel when you see Toby. You are in a lot of pain. You're trying to reach for help. It feels like it doesn't do anything because everybody just keeps asking for Toby no matter how much pain you're in, you know? There's also the entire concept of body dysmorphia, which this kind of does play into, doesn't it? It's like this entire concept of like trying to reach for help, but like just no. Physics say no, and you just, yeah. I think it needs to be, we need to be a little bit deeper in. This hand needs to be a little bit closer to our neck for the full soaking image. Maybe I also kind of want it to be like taller around. Because if you're imagining drowning, it would probably be like waves, and you would kind of... Because if the line actually is here, kind of, like the line of the waves, it would make it feel like you are kind of below the waves, even if you actually aren't. I feel like it needs to probably start melting from lower down as well. I kind of want the... I want it to kind of fill more space vertically, like upwards, like so. Which is kind of why I'm wanting to have the hair also go up, if I can. But I'm not sure how that would make sense, because you're being also kind of pulled down. So I kind of need to make an effect where you're being kind of pulled both up and down at the same time, which also kind of does make sense. When we think about the concept, it would make sense. It's kind of this idea that like you're being pulled in both directions, and like just the idea that is very difficult. We want it to feel really difficult, you know? like too happy now. I think it needs to think about how a face looks like when it's in pain. Feel like you kind of do squint a little bit. Then your eyebrows kind of point down. I don't know, I'm not the best with expression work generally. I'm gonna do my very best. You're confused on what this is. Is this Goldie when Toby wins the war being sent to the underworld? No. This is a representation of how Goldie feels, you know? An abstract representation. Maybe we can also have like kind of circles around this to kind of frame the piece. Just can kind of go like so. It's trusting the process right now. Even though this is very anatomically questionable at the moment. You do not look like you're in pain right now. You need to look more in agony. Now you look like you're dying. Which might be good. Maybe I want you to look like you're dying. Ah, yes. Horror material. Just what I wanted. It's okay, it's just a sketching phase. So we kind of want this part, I think we want this part to also kind of be, we don't want there to be a clear cutoff, like so, between the stuff we are drowning in and like the actual character. We kind of want to feel melded in with it, because it kind of feels like part of us, you know, that part of us that we could never, you know, shake off, because it's literally we are melding into the mental illness, okay? It's okay, it's okay. We can do this. I admit this looks very messy right now. Crazy to assume you would lose. Okay, let's just... I feel like the face is kind of drawing attention away from it. What is the actual structure we have here? We're also seeing like a lot of the... Okay, I think I'm gonna kind of try to melt the spiky things into the character as much as possible here. What if we make this like kind of the same spike as well? I feel like we are kind of dragging this out too far, and that's why it looks weird, because it kind of elongates the head and makes it look unnatural. If we instead do it like so, I feel like that's already better. I'm trying to be competent, only for the chat to say some crazy things. Yeah, also, this is gonna be... I'm gonna use these streams for my portfolio video. So, when I'm gonna be assessed, they're just gonna see you in the chat, like, talking about Toby and the Goldie Blue representing insanity and some new football league and such stuff like that. It's gonna be... I'm gonna do my best, but it's definitely gonna be interesting. It will be seen as... Long pause. Creative person with creative and stupid chat. Amazing. Helmi is drawing. You're running out of stuff to say. Goldie, tell us about your day. I think that should give you some material. You forgot about saying your day. It's okay. You had an alright day. That's good. You hope to not fail the French test you had to do today? Ooh, French. I haven't studied French myself, but it's always kind of scared me. To get some more lead for my mechanical pencil, for I am running out. Oh, hi, Lord Gert. Welcome on in. Yeah, it's good to have you here. It's a bunch of people chatting. Oh, it's okay, Krimian. You haven't missed too much. You've just kind of... We are still in the planning phase as well. You saw the notification long ago, but you were at volleyball practice, so you couldn't join. It's okay. We're just here to plan. This is gonna be a long process, but still. Does anybody want like a little refresher on what we have been doing? Like a really quick one? What are we doing? Lord God, I am completing my fine arts diploma by making a Minecraft build. And I'm streaming it for all of you to see. I'm glad you think so, Lord God. Thank you. I've had them for like a while like this. It's already started to grow out a little bit. Like, for me, like, my biggest problem is when I paint them and my nails grow. Then, like, it's kind of, at one point when the line is like here, it starts looking a little bit iffy. So I'm kind of liking the general look of this. I like how I've kind of done the shaping of the line here. I feel like it's very creative, but also kind of minimalistic, which is nice. But I'm kind of trying to think of how I would actually represent this in a 3D space, which is a little bit more difficult. And also I want to kind of have a lot of gradienting going on here. Which is generally, I feel like I'm gonna have all of this be kind of nonsensical colors. And I'm gonna have a lot of it be just like kind of very thin layers. So I can easily just kind of punch the holes in it. So this is most likely gonna be a perspective build, which is kind of interesting. I don't know how heavily I want to lean into that. because we are going very like kind of abstract with our shape work here, I would kind of like this arm as well to be a little bit more of like the suggestion of an arm instead of being like a prop F arm. I feel like we are kind of capturing a lot of the elements we want to capture here. Like the kind of brokenness of it is kind of giving the trauma that I wanted to give. And also like the entire kind of drowning theme and like hallucinatory and body dysmorphic theme is also very present. I feel like how we actually do the coloring and the backgrounds on this is really gonna decide how this actually ends up looking. I'm thinking like a really kind of dark background and then all of this in like extremely vibrant colors. And then like I'm not sure what I want to do here because I want to have some kind of abstract swirling happening here. Don't know what I actually want to do with the shape of it. Because we want something to fill in the entire area there. But we don't want it to be there just to make it look busy, we want it to have actual meaning. What's up? The image of like an animal like touching fingertips? Yeah, I do. I could do something like that, but I feel like that's also very cliché. Lord God, you seemed very passionate about that for a moment. I was like, whoa, what kind of art drama have I completely missed? we can kind of... I feel like we are already kind of giving off the vibes of the image, even though if we don't like consciously lean into it. We can acknowledge it as a piece of intertextuality that we are weaving in there without actively making the effort to make it more prominent. You're gonna come here and shout and gain respect by striking fear into the chat. Oh my god. Block displays and other commands in general, make it live and be animated and all. That is cool, but it's also... I am gonna make this into a Minecraft build, but it's mainly gonna be like... for like kind of static viewing, because it's gonna be up in a gallery, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna do it as like, you know, just plain image displays. And also, since this is like my diploma, I'm not really allowed to get too much outside help for it. So I can't just... like, if the making it live would be like a major part of the actual submission, then I would not be allowed to do that. Of course, like after the fact, if it seems to be that we would like be able to do something really cool with it, then maybe. But like, as of now, I don't think I'm gonna take you up on that, sorry. Yeah, Lord God, but also particles don't render from very far away. Come on, Lord God. These streams, I'm gonna use them in my portfolio video. Like, the people assessing me, they're gonna see you in the chat, okay? They're gonna see all of these messages, right? Although, because this is the sketching part, this is gonna be very sped up. Hi, sisters. Hello, important people watching the stream. Please go help me a diploma. Aww. You're so sweet. Korean. Oh my lord. I will tell you the stop, but this is giving my stream like in the analytics. Whenever there's like a ton of chat messages, it like gives my analytics like a big boost. So please do keep spamming Toby It's helping me out on the algorithm side of things. Goodness. Now, I do actually kind of like this in a way. Like, it's kind of weird, but like, if I imagine this with the colors, I'm not too mad at it. It's definitely gonna be an experience to execute, but... I feel like we might want to do the coloring on this now. I might be like wild for thinking that, but I also don't know. How is this displaying on my OBS? Have I just... Oh, it's still pretty much centered. It's good. My parsley is starting to creep back into the camera, but it's okay. It's gone now. I feel like a lot of people are questioning what OB is right now. So, I feel like I might want to get the paints out, which is a little bit diabolical, but I kind of want to think about the color scheme of this and how I'm actually gonna execute this and how the paints would like fall on this before I actually start doing the coloring in game, because it's just like usually when I do coloring in game, I try to do it based on how I would imagine it to be if it was like Goldie, no, it's okay. It's okay. I usually try to do it based on how I imagine the colors would be made if it was being like painted or something. Because the color techniques and blending and such are kind of similar when it comes to like texturing and coloring in Minecraft as it is when like using oil paints and such. So I feel like because coloring is such a big part of this, it might do us like a big service if we do just go ahead and, you know, paint over this with like acrylics and such. Try to kind of get the colors we want before we actually start building this. No, Cody, you can't. You're helping. You're helping a lot. And we do want this to be very vibrant. I actually happen to have all of my art kits and such just here right next to my desk. It's all very... Oh, it's all over my floor now, that's fine. But I can just... Look at this, I have premium brushes. Amazing. Very high quality, definitely paint. More brushes. More paint. Brushes and paint. Is that all of it? I have no idea. We are gonna pretend this. Where even is my palette thing? Did I already take it somewhere? What did I do with that thing? Why am I like this? It's not under anywhere. When did I last even use that? It's fine, it's probably somewhere. I also have one of these very high quality plastic palette knives. I don't know why it filtered the Lord card saying very demure, but... Indeed. Now, because this is like such an unimaginably tiny scale, we are gonna need some really small brushes here. This is gonna be for like the big brush strokes, and this is gonna be for the smaller ones. I definitely feel like I am missing a few brushes alongside the palette, so there is a good chance that I was just doing something and I probably lost my brushes or something and I just completely forgot to bring them back. So they're probably somewhere in my house. The beef in the chat is wild right now. But But I do kind of need a palette. Like, I could be kind of a savage and just put some paint on a piece of paper and... Yeah, but... Is there an actual war happening? Should I be paying attention to this? These don't actually have the colors written on them, do they? Oh well, I'll just take some of the ones that seem like they would be of good use to us. I am kind of low on white. This happened through some like real trauma. Need these, we need this. Is this a red? It's kind of like a purplish red, but like we really don't have a very clean red in this specific set. Help me Pro stream, yes, in fact. You're gonna window the stream and do your dailies and Genshin, so you're still there but not in chat. That is fair. Goldy blue. Isn't this kind of goldy blue? This looks goldy blue to me. Goldy, do you approve of this as being goldy blue? Silence? Question mark? Look, DMs. Oh my god, you're really gonna make me go on Discord. You're in the newbie and build server with Goldie right now. You send a screening of your skin. But... it's kind of... It's a little bit more... It's like this color, but it's like mixed with a little bit of white to make it a little bit less vibrant. And honestly, your face, it kind of makes me think of like electrical sockets, honestly. But like, it's very close. So I think I do in fact need to really quickly grab like a palette and maybe potentially some better white color. Because this is like... Do you see this? This is miserable. This is so sad. Goldie, you asked. You literally asked. Oh, my mic is peaking. I need to calm down. But yeah, I'm gonna be back in literally a second as I go get more stuff. We are back. Yeah, that's the correct button. I have returned with a palette, and I also discovered that I did in fact... Yeah, I did in fact find 2 more brushes that I had washed, and I just kind of forgot to take them there. But this is very useful because it's a small process, so we can use them. And I got some random white paint tubes from other sets that I had. And I also got this set because I just had it and it seems pretty unused, so I was like, oh sure, let's just grab it as well. I think this also has a pretty good white in it. I do in fact have a lot of paint. It just kind of builds up over time, you know? This thing really doesn't want to come out of its packaging. No wonder I never used this. It's just like not worth the battle, you know? Oh, there's some instruction manual stuck in here. I don't need instructions for how to use paint. There we go. This does seem like a very clean white color, so... Oh, and oh... I don't know what happened here, but this has in fact kind of slightly exploded in its box. Which is probably fine. I'm just gonna put it back. That is not an issue for today. We have a lot happening, you know. And I dropped my brushes on the ground. Instructions are clear. I thought I was in pain. I mean, don't you look kind of in pain here? I feel like you look kind of pained. I admit I might peek for a moment. I hope that didn't destroy anyone's ears. Oh yeah, did I have any colors that is straight up like magenta? Like incredibly bright colors that just kind of hurt your eyes? I'm not sure I do. Magenta's kind of a wild color. Like I've tried to mix magenta before, but it just kind of doesn't mix. And I dropped more paint on the floor. My desk isn't really big enough for all of this, but that's fine. We deal with it. This is probably kind of the closest we have to magenta. Does that look like? That's kind of magenta, right? It feels a little bit magenta. Purple bossed color. It's just like a very kind of desaturated magenta. And then also lime was one that we wanted, which is literally just green and a ton of yellow. So very bubbly today for some reason. To be fair, these are like years old, so that might have something to do with it, but still. Mix, mix, mix. Let's see what happens. This yellow is like not yellowing. It's still just plain green. We need more yellow. Yellower yellow. Do we have a yellower yellow? I think this is a little bit yellower. More yellow. This is just a professional working right now. Okay, that's a little bit more promising. Oh yeah. This is a lot of color, but I'm sure it's okay. That's starting to look a lot more lime. On the screen, it looks like more desaturated because I set up the settings so that it's better for like graphite colors, but in real life it's a lot more... Oh, I just nearly knocked everything over, but that's fine. In real life it's a lot more vibrant. I could maybe... If I go into filters, color correction, after saturation. Yeah, that's a lot more like it. Yeah, now you're kind of seeing the actual colors. I know, that's wild, your world has changed now. I hope you know how to cope with this change. Okay, how am I gonna... I need to clear some space for myself here. That contrast is how we saw the world as kids. Now this is like the actual contrast. I could make it worse. Oh, it just peaked again. Hold on, let me put it on like the actual max contrast, max saturation. That's radioactive. Yeah, there we go. That's more normal. And I think I'm gonna move my mouse over here somewhere, maybe. And then I'm gonna have this to my right. Way better. Oh my gosh. Now if I think here, what happens if I just... Now I have green on it. Amazing, incredible. This is how painting works. You just kinda tap color and then you have color. I don't have a plan right now, but that's fine. I'm just gonna work the lime in first, because I don't really want to worry about colors blending right now. Add your stream in the corner, but it's 5 seconds back to make it more watchable. What? Big experience one. But you just want me to have my actual stream in the corner of my stream, but a smaller version that's a little bit behind. Is that what you're saying? You're talking nonsense. Because we are working with abstract, I am kind of just wildly placing color and seeing what happens. You know, this is like just as the famous pop roast used to make, there are no mistakes, there are only happy little accidents. I'm kind of trying to follow that strategy. Because it doesn't matter if the colors don't make sense, because they're not supposed to make sense. We are a little bit... Like, our theme is insanity. It's fine if the colors don't make logical sense. Although this is really not like a good brush for these finer details here. It's fine. Is there a representation of me being drowned in acid? Yeah, it's crazy. Exactly. No, bad lord. I honestly, I cannot stop you. Do what you will. I think I kind of need to go wild. I'm caring too much about painting inside the lines. It doesn't really matter. We're crazy here, you know? Just paint over everything. It's fine. Everything's fine. I just don't like how inconsistent the texture is here, so I think I'm just gonna add more paint. It's me with a duck in the fire. This is fine. No, this is fine. This is completely fine. I recognize it looks a little bit crazy. But that's kind of what I'm going for, you know? Sorry. Okay, I'm gonna wipe this off a little bit and thank you. Okay, now it looks like we are in a pool of toxic waste, which is brilliant. Now we just add more stuff to the pool of toxic waste. And I'm sure it's gonna be even more brilliant. Ah, yes, this is how painting works. Definitely, absolutely. Let's give ourselves magenta eyebrows. Yes. Maybe use other colors as well. God, that's what I'm doing right now. I am adding a color other than green. I like this. Are we gonna use that pink in the color sheet too? I feel like I'm turning into toxic waste. God, it's okay. One at a time, one color at a time, okay? I need to let that paint there dry before I can do much with it. Now, if we were to kind of start just adding colors, what would happen? Like, I'm just gonna grab like the primary colors on my palette and just start making a bunch of stuff. Let's get a little bit crazy. Where's my blue? It's all drowning. Because I have too much tubes everywhere. color. It's blending a little bit too much. I might need to change brushes. You have selective hearing right now. Neuron activation when I hear crazy. So our goal is to just kind of add a ton of color. Try to avoid them blending too much. Just kind of think about how we would kind of blend all of that together after the fact. I'm kind of playing a risky game because normally when you do this, you're supposed to kind of let the other colors dry before you add in other ones to avoid the mixing, but I'm just kind of going wild with it, you know, going a little bit crazy. You don't like the lack of goldy blue? Starting to see myself when I sit talking. It is definitely chaotic, that's for sure. I'm layering like a ton of paint here. So it's kind of, I would love to blend them better, but it's just gonna turn into brown if I do that right now. So we do kind of need to wait with that. You actually love that? Yeah, it's a lot of trusting the process when it comes to painting, especially in this style, but I'm definitely gonna do a lot of blending work once this is kind of dry, but I don't really dare to do that right now because I'm not sure if you can see this, but it's like just layers upon layers of wet paint, and that's kind of dangerous to touch. Wait, touch good. Kalti, you sound very surprised. Why does that work? Yeah, it's just, it doesn't feel like it's gonna work, but if you just kind of keep adding stuff, it's gonna work, you know? Um, there's a lot of detail work I would like to do on the face and such, but it's a little bit difficult because the paint here is still very wet. So there's not a ton I can do. And I don't really want to smudge it and have it turn out all brown. I think what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna wait for these colors to dry, and in the meantime I think I'm gonna kind of make the background, like paint the background with the black colors that we think it's gonna be. Because I feel like having that be all black is really gonna make the rest of this pop. This is gonna be a little bit, I'm gonna try to be a little bit careful here. Because even though we can kind of try to paint over the black, even if we go over the edges, it's gonna be quite a lot more difficult to erase. So I'm gonna try to not have to cover up too many mistakes I make with the black paint. Toby. um, it is not Toby himself, but rather the results of Toby's presence. I just opened up some news panel on my computer. Lovely. I'm trying to not paint my desk too much, because that would be a little bit annoying to clean. I don't usually layer paint like this heavily, so this is gonna take a while longer to dry than it normally would. Usually I only do very thin layers, but now I'm basically just like, I am really just laying this on here. Helmi's talking, am I? Is the man that is stuck in a cave? Slavik, were you here for the previous planning part of it? You weren't. Basically, our theme for this is insanity, or more specifically, like mental health and self-image. So we're trying to create like a very, I don't know what, I just like some bit of dry paint or something in there that's kind of, oh well. It's kind of like exactly difficult to describe what it is. It's more so trying to represent the feeling of experiencing like a mental illness. Representation of me as mental illness. Can we class hating Toby as a mental illness chat? You just sang the full national anthem off by heart. Jesus Christ, it's a mouthful. That's fine. That's fine. I have sometimes accidentally dropped my paintbrush, like in the middle of my work. It's like messed some things up, so this is really... We are lucky it landed over there and not like in the middle of the character's face or something. I don't know what the deal is with me and dropping paintbrushes, but I just keep doing it. Welcome back, Lord. Our paint layer is very uneven. This doesn't have the best coverage when I don't use a ton of it. It's not the end of the world, but still it's a little bit annoying. Still doesn't seem to be fully dry. In some of the parts I'd like to improve on. But regardless, I would say it's starting to look a lot better. I feel like adding the background really helped a lot with a lot of the shaping parts. And I think I am quite enjoying the results we have managed to accomplish so far. What do you guys think? I think I'm gonna go ahead and use up some of these colors to kind of fill out these bottom bits here. You think it looks cool? Be back in 20 minutes. Alright. You hope the stream will still be on by the time you come back? I don't know if it will be, because it is already... That's gonna be 1 AM my time. It might be. But we are nearing the end. Yeah, it's quite late for me at this point. Everybody else has already been asleep for like an hour. My sleep schedule has been so messed up ever since the A7th. I've been trying to get it back together because I keep faking up at like 5 PM and it's like so... I really need to, fix my lifestyle because I really can't, I shouldn't keep that up for so long. But regardless, it's better that I stay up late actually working on productive stuff like, my art diploma, rather than just staying up late playing like some stupid match 3 game on my phone or something. Sleep schedule is not sleep scheduling. It's still me. Have I just summoned everybody to realize that it's late for them? I do think it's late for like most of the people watching this because a lot of my audience is European currently. my audience. It's literally just random people and a few friends, but still, my point still stands. Guys, what do we think of it? Goldie, what do you mean? What is this? Do you feel like that is me? Exactly. Okay, hear me out. Go for it. We need Toby. But this is already about Toby. As I said, Toby isn't really... Toby is like our friendly everyday Toby. Toby doesn't need to be the star, Toby just needs to be in the background. And Toby is already kind of the star in this piece. Because he's kind of the entire inspiration for all of it, you know? I feel like Toby wouldn't like so much attention being drawn to him. In just one piece. Oh, guys, what should we name it? What should we name it? Because we need to give it a name. Oh, it's gonna be like... I swear it's gonna be... You're gonna try to name it Toby or something, but it's like... You're an avid Tobyist now. I have crafted my own religion, have a small following. What do you mean, no Toby? Goldie, name it Goldie. No, but I want the name to actually be more insightful, you know? To have some deeper meaning to it. Kind of portray the piece also as other people would interpret it. Because art is about, you know, also about how many people can interpret it in like different ways. Quality blue. Toby must be here. No airships. Guys, I feel like the set is a little bit tired tonight. And that's why the naming process is not really working out for any of us. It might be because it's so late, you know? Do you guys think it would be better if we work on the name at another time? Crimean, you are being bad today. I think we're all just tired, chat. I think we're just tired. I think we should probably maybe end the stream soon for tonight and go to sleep and see about the naming a little bit later. Alright? Nobody's getting banned. But I do think a lot of us should get to sleep now. Alright? Then how will me and Cody argue? That's a fair point. But I think we should go to sleep anyway. So I do think I will be ending stream. Also because I need to let this dry. And I need to wash all of these brushes before the paint is just stuck on them forever. Help me please. What? God, what's up? You request moderate. You're not getting moderator. No one's getting moderator. But we will all get to sleep, okay? We're all gonna sleep now. We're gonna go brush our teeth if we haven't. And we're gonna, go lay in bed, be comfortable, and sleep. And we can think about this tomorrow, and you can keep discussing in the Discord if you must. Or in the comment section, actually. That would be lovely. You can keep arguing in the comment section. That would really boost me. I never get comments. So... No, Caldi. The one time I don't want to go to sleep, tell me won't stream. I have been streaming, okay? I have been streaming. It's literally, it's about to be 1 a.m. Please let me go sleep. Okay, no, Goldie. No one's getting moderator tonight, no one's getting banned tonight. None of that's gonna happen. But what's gonna happen is we're gonna end stream, we're gonna go to sleep, okay? I shouldn't really wait for okay, because I know you're not gonna... No, neither of you are gonna get moderator. I have moderator. I am God. I will end the stream without giving either of you moderator. You cannot stop me. Good night. Bye bye. I am gonna stop streaming now. Cry about it in the comment section so the algorithm boosts my video. Bye bye. Sleep well.